HarperCollins presents Caravan to Vaccares by Alistair MacLean. Read by Nathaniel Priestley.
To Jean-André and Emanuela Charial. Prologue. They had come a long way, those gypsies encamped for their evening meal on the dusty greensward by the winding mountain road in Provence. From Transylvania they had come, from the Pustas of Hungary, from the high Tatra of Czechoslovakia, from the Iron Gate, even from as far away as the gleaming Romanian beaches washed by the waters of the Black Sea. A long journey, hot and stifling and endlessly, monotonously repetitive across the already baking plains of Central Europe, or slow and difficult and exasperating and occasionally dangerous in the traversing of the great ranges of mountains that had lain in their way. Above all, one would have thought, even for those nomadic travellers par excellence, the tiring journey. No traces of any such tiredness could be seen in the faces of the gypsies, men, women, and children all dressed in their traditional finery, who sat or squatted in a rough semicircle round two glowing coke braziers, listening in quietly absorbed melancholy to the hauntingly soft and nostalgic Tsigan music of the Hungarian steppes. For this apparent lack of any trace of exhaustion, there could have been a number of reasons. As the very large, modern, immaculately finished and luxuriously equipped caravans indicated, the gypsies of today travel in a degree of comfort unknown to their forebears who roamed Europe in the horse-drawn, garishly painted and fiendishly uncomfortable covered wagon caravans of yesteryear. They were looking forward that night to the certainty of replenishing coffers sadly depleted by their long haul across Europe. In anticipation of this, they had already changed from their customary drab travelling clothes. Only 3 days remained until the end of their pilgrimage, for pilgrimage this was, or perhaps they just had remarkable powers of recuperation. Whatever the reason, their faces reflected no signs of weariness, only gentle pleasure and bittersweet memories of faraway homes and days gone by. But one man there was among them whose expression, or lack of it, would have indicated to even the most obtusely unobservant that, for the moment at least, his lack of musical appreciation was total, and his thoughts and intentions strictly confined to the present. His name was Cerda, and he was sitting on the top of the steps of his caravan, apart from and behind the others, a half-seen shadow on the edge of darkness. Leader of the gypsies and hailing from some unpronounceable village in the delta of the Danube, Cerda was of middle years, lean, tall, and powerfully built, with about him that curiously relaxed but instantly identifiable stillness of one who can immediately transform apparent inertia into explosive action. He was dressed all in black and had black hair, black eyes, black moustache, and the face of a hawk. One hand, resting limply on his knee, held a long, thin, smouldering black cigar, the smoke wisping up into his eyes, but Cerda did not seem to notice or care. His eyes were never still. Occasionally he glanced at his fellow gypsies, but only briefly, casually, dismissively. Now and again he looked at the range of the Alpilles, their gaunt, forbidding limestone crags sleeping palely in the brilliant moonlight under a star-dusted sky, but for the most part he glanced alternately left and right along the line of parked caravans. Then his eyes stopped roving, although no expression came to replace the habitual stillness of that face. Without haste he rose, descended the steps, ground his cigar into the earth, and walked soundlessly to the end of the row of caravans. The man who stood waiting in the shadows was a youthful, scaled-down replica of Cerda himself. Not quite so broad, not quite so tall, his swarthily aquiline features were cast in a mould so unmistakably similar to that of the older man that it was unthinkable that he could be anything other than his son. Cerda, clearly a man not much given to superfluous motion or speech, raised a questioning eyebrow. His son nodded, led him out onto the dusty roadway, pointed and made a downward
Sample complete. Ready to continue?